rapid succession instead of simultaneously?
One of my true guitar heroes, Ingmar Malmsteen, is known as the god of this, and I believe it's the arpeggio.
Well done, correct.
Listeners hear the notes as if are a chord, even though they are not played together. The term arpeggio comes from the Italian for play the harp. Okay, at the end of round two, James is currently in the lead on 105 points and one step closer to playing Question Impossible. Coming up in the show, we reveal new evidence to prove once and for all that the War of the Roses wasn't fought by slapping each other with bouquets. But first, there's still a chance for the lead to change as we get into round three. Trust me, I'm a think tank. In this round, our contestants will play the same questions, each with 50 points. Two of the think tank will give us the answers they believe are right, but only one of them is. Each contestant will choose the answer they think is correct.
Thanks, so that buff man.
Because at the end of this round, we'll be saying goodbye to the contestant with the lowest score. Okay, here is the first question. Which Hitchcock film is considered the first American movie to show a toilet being flushed? Which Hitchcock film is considered the first American movie to show a toilet being flushed? There are two responses, one from Michelle and one from Emma. Michelle.
Psycho.
Yep. Psycho.
Michelle, why Psycho?
Well, I know Psycho is that famous scene where Janet leaves in the shower and she's like...
That was not why it was famous. It was famous for being a flushing toilet being used for the first time ever in a movie.
Well, Rear Window is a pretty iconic Hitchcock film, and I just wondered whether maybe that's what was seen out of the rear window, the toilet being flushed.
This is where I need to go grab.
I know where you've gone. Okay, A, Psycho, B, Rear Window. You have two little buttons in front of you, mark A and B. Psycho. Let's have a look and see if you are right. Psycho is. Person actually digging about Rear Window. Now, Psycho is considered a key film in the breaking down of the moral code that US films were meant to obey. And not just for the scene in which Marion Crane flushes a piece of paper down the toilet.
This is supposed to be a
People were
piece
shocked. I'm sure they would have been more shocked.
that assembles without
As they
glue.
would see what was in the toilet if it hadn't been
It all
flushed.
supposedly snaps together. And you don't need to use
Okay, second
glue,
question. Jockey
supposedly.
Hugh Bowman, when riding Winch, has worn silks with what letter emblazoned in white on the front? Jockey Hugh Bowman, when riding Winch, has worn silks with what letter emblazoned in white on the front? Two responses, one from Bruce, one from Matt. Bruce.
W.
And Matt.
M.
Bruce, can you explain the W?
What an amazing horse. The horse's wings. W. The big W. You know, and for mine, it's going to be like, it's got to be a W on the silks. Yeah, unless you pull it off.
Yep, pretty sure that all the bits are there.
Myself. I've got no idea, so I'll do it for myself.
Now to grab my utensils.
M for Maddie.
I know you've got a lot to invest in this, so have we. Yeah, and that's the reason they came up with those responses when asked this question. One is a W, one is an M. You've got the little buttons, let us know what you think, A or B. We've got the mind link happening again. Belinda has gone for the W, Blake has gone for the W, James has gone for the W. Let's have a look and see if it's the W. M. M.
He fell off.
That's cruel. The M represents the owning syndicate's name, Magic Bloodstock. N. Question 3. In Roman times, the region of Caledonia roughly corresponded to which modern-day country? In Roman times, the region of Caledonia roughly corresponded to which modern-day country? Two responses. One from Sam, one from Deborah. Sam.
France.
Deborah.
Scotland.
Sam, why France?
Thinking in Roman
times they didn't necessarily move around all that much, so think about European geography. Proximity-wise, like France is obviously quite close, and then just the addition of also New Caledonia is a French-speaking country, so hopefully that's a logical reason as to why it's France.
Okay.
Got fairly extensive knowledge of the Latin language. I think Cali, the prefix means kilt. No, that's not true. I just had a fairly strong feeling that it was Caledonia for no other reason than it's just one of those facts in the back of my head.
There we go. Both compelling arguments. We have A for France, B for Scotland. It's one of the other ones right, one's incorrect. Push the button, let us know. Oh, okay. Well, we like it. We love when it's happening. James has gone to Scotland. Jake has gone to France. Ian has gone to France. You'll see. The name is occasionally still referenced in modern times, especially in poetry. Much of modern-day France is known as Gaul or Gaulia in Roman times. So making a bit of a run now, James. For 5 years.
Time for a coffee.
And Belinda on 105. Don't forget, at the end of this round, we will be saying goodbye to the person who lost score. In 2017, the theme song to which children's TV show was added to the National Film and Sound Archives, Sounds of Australia. In 2017, the theme song to which children's TV show was added to the National Film and Sound Archives, Sounds of Australia. 2 responses, one from Jono, one from Emma. We'll start with Jono.
High school.
Emma. Celebrate the international year of what? In 1986, the first Australian commemorative $1 coin was minted to celebrate. But congratulations and
Surgical.
joy are in order for James. Well done. Now, time for Question Impossible.
It's little cockpit
Question Impossible.
rudder
This next question is the toughest question
and
in the
feet
entire show. It's the
pedals.
question that none of our think tankers managed to answer correctly. James, if you can get this right,
Put that there.
you will succeed where even our noble think tankers could not succeed. Answer this correctly and you'll become a
now
think
what?
tank champion. And you will take home this glorious trophy.
B3.
Oh, you didn't jump in on that. I thought you were going to jump in on that.
There you are.
Not today.
B3.
Hey, did you think you'd be here at this point when you started off?
No, not at all. Not even slightly.
Okay. Happy with yourself? Happy with your performance?
So far?
Yeah, it's been great. Very impressive. Okay. Should we get stuck in?
Let's do it.
This is a tough one. According to tradition, the Dutch equivalent of Santa Claus resides in which country? According to tradition, the Dutch equivalent of Santa Claus resides in which country? Any thoughts straight off?
Yeah,
Off
look.
the top of my head.
Nothing you want to share?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Well, how about we go to the tank? Don't forget that all their responses are incorrect. Okay, activate the 8. Norway, the Netherlands, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Russia.
Clean that up.
They're all wrong. Has it pointed you in any particular direction?
It's turned me away from an idea that I had.
Which idea was that?
I was thinking Sweden.
Sweden. Okay. Has it pointed you to another idea, or just left you in a quandary?
Left me in a quandary, but I'm going to have to go with a gut and say Belgium.
Belgium. Okay.
I think you might be
Where did
right.
that one come from?
I have no real idea.
Or Norway,
No
maybe.
real idea.
According to tradition, the Dutch equivalent of Santa Claus
Okay.
resides in which country? You said Belgium. The
B2.
answer is Spain.
Ooh, Spain.
It's taken everyone by surprise? Yeah, because we've all gone cold countries, haven't we? Places with a bit of snow, a little bit of ice, so we don't sort of think about Spain in that way. I suspect.
B2.
The tradition is that Santa Claus, as he is known in the
Yep,
Netherlands,
Santa
lives in
Claus.
Madrid. Why wouldn't you? and each year arrives by boat in a different Dutch port. It is possible the idea arose from an old poem in which he travels to Spain to collect oranges. A gift traditionally associated with Sinterklaas. And the concept of him living in Spain evolved from there. Well, James, they say impossible is nothing, but the question impossible is most definitely something. And I'm sorry to say, but the thing
That's B2.
that it is
B2, where do you go?
so close that the question remains impossible. James, thank you so much for joining us. Can you give him a round of applause? Fantastic. And for those of you playing along at home, the answer to Graham's super secret question is by mixing the dynamic energy of Cuban
Go
folk
down in there.
with the melancholy medievalism of Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Yeah. How did you score? Good night, everyone.
There we go. Went in there nice.
The groundbreaking series, breathing
You as well?
life into iconic Aussie homes.
What do you want?
Major transformation, isn't it?
Pretty amazing.
Do I make tanks?
Restoration Australia.
Yeah.
Sunday 7:40 on ABC.
Might make a tank next.
Pick up the October issue.
No, I only picked this one up today, so
For all things flowers, waste
doing this aeroplane today.
and jobs to do in the garden this spring. And an organic gardener, fill your patch with crunchy sweet corn,
The
beautiful
one.
sunflowers, and learn how to raise happy chooks.
I found a local shop that does hobbies.
2021
So,
Gardening Australia and Organic
yeah,
Gardener
lucky
Garden
enough that they've
Inquiries.
got some on
Available now from news
bargain
agents and
prices. Well,
abcmagazines.com.au.
don't take it too much.
As they play,
We made them.
we play too.
There you go.
As they grow. We grow with them. The number one place for Aussie kids to be. ABC Kids. Michelle Payne is an icon of Australian sport.
The first
I think this is like the fuselage where the seat
from the darkest tragedies
seating
was devastating.
or something.
She rode to the
I don't
top.
know. Maybe.
The series final. Oh wow.
Um,
Arts Brush with Fame. Tuesday on ABC and iView.
B7.
I'm Kirsten Drysdale. And I'm Zoe Not Lodge. And we have perfect reputation. So we're here to help people who've been publicly shamed. What was like the worst thing you read about yourself?
Oh, there was so many.
What a curious student was so bad.
His attitude stinks. He's in a tough spot.
I'm actually quite chilled and quite mellow.
My name is Karen.
Karen.
How can we rebrand Karens to make them cool? Because when it comes to outrage, no one is immune.
My phone was blowing up.
Reputation Rehab starts Wednesday, October 28 on ABC and iView.
Dear humans, we need to talk. There's pollution in my air and plastic in my oceans. My trees and animals are disappearing and my temperature is rising. My climate is changing. I think I can fix it, but I can't fix it on my own. Small changes can have a big impact. And right now,
Might put the radio on in a minute.
Signs, Your Planet.
A season of stories exploring our
Portrait mode.
Your Planet on ABC.
In this land of
Yeah,
extremes,
it don't work. Not on this anyway.
Newcastle brings us an essential guide for survival.
Watch. Serious. Portrait. Auto rotate.
Starts Tuesday on ABC and iView.
It don't do shit. It stays sideways, man. See? It stays forced in portrait mode. Not. It won't go to landscape mode. Not when you're streaming in the in real life, the IRL.
This week I'm meeting a couple who are not prepared to go
Now, if you're using your own camera, then it will.
building their house on one of the highest points of their land. Exposed.
The only way that you can do that really is, yeah, going onto your phone's camera and streaming from your camera. And depending on what phone you use, will be a different server and stuff. It will either be an S8 camera or iPhone camera or whatever camera. B7.
Years ago, Meredith Bayfield needed an escape from her busy city life.
Goes
So
here.
she and husband Matt purchased a working sheep property at Ilford in the central tablelands of New South Wales.
You know, I always said, growing up, I was born with boots. Born to wear jeans and boots rather than high heels and dresses, you know. And for me, I've always loved the country life. And when I was growing up in holidays, I always wanted to go
all
off
the
to
B.
farm stays and horse riding camp and things like that.
F23.
But with 4 kids in the family and friends often staying the weekend, they're looking for something with more space and more scope.
We didn't want just a square farmhouse with, you know, the sort of boring windows and verandas that, you know,
Yeah, you definitely put the radio on.
with the farm, but ends up not looking all that visually interesting. But we wanted something that would take advantage of the location and the views.
There's the cartoons on I can watch. Hey, that's that new show, Inglings. I haven't watched this yet. Cut this little tiny bit off without slicing my finger. There we go. Yeah, it's all clean. I can attach Hugo around that way. And under here. And like a so. Yeah, that's definitely the cockpit. Focus. Get in there. And where's that other bit that I'd done before? There it is. This bit that I did before. Focus. Goes in here.
She's okay.
Trying to get around the bit. There we go. Now it's got it pedals in there and the rudder. There we go. You can see the rudder on there now. Alright. V1, V7, V2, F24.
Okay, fine. We'll all focus at the same time. What do you think? Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. It's definitely dead.
Is it still dead?
No.
There we go, that cleaned that up. I'm trying to keep it focused on it though. It doesn't really like to focus on little things. And that bit, you go here.
He really loves that cow.
There we go.
That's not the song I was hoping to play.
No. Wanna go in proper? I think that got it. Almost. Doesn't want to sit full flush there. There we go. F22. F22. Hey, this tiny thing. It's like a keyboard or something, maybe. Might even be like a radiator. No, it is a keyboard. A bit. She goes down in there. I've got to use these to fit it in. Get in there. There we go. Now it's got its computer. Step 1. Now on to step 2.
It's important to know when to let things go. There's not a lot of this kind of fish left in the wild, and when they're gone, well, it's okay. Let me let them go.
F21 and okay, G2. What's that? Like a sticker or something, maybe? Alright. It's this bit, the upper fuselage. There's H. F21. There's F21. Thanks for joining, everyone. Didn't know people found this kind of stuff interesting. We've got this little bit done. Now, G2. G looks like a bit of plastic. Yeah, thought so. This tiny little thing here. Clean that up. Yes, it's this tiny little bit of plastic. I've got to try and fit onto here, and I can't even see what I'm trying to fit.
Just one life. What do I do?
Oh no, where'd that go? Uh-oh. I'll be back. I've lost a little tiny piece. It's like the smallest bit I've had to go and drop. I've got a doggo and he'll probably come along and snuggle it up at one point if I don't pick it up. Where'd it go? Uh-oh. Bit of plastic. Where is you? There you are. Found it. Ugh. Hey, don't you go flying away. Get back here. Somehow, I've got to attach this into here. Get in there. Get in the hole.
What just happened?
So close.
I don't know. But I think I might have someone who does. How long till we reach the
In
coordinates?
your hole. You know you want to go in there. You're made for it. Does it sit up a bit? I think it might. Is it supposed to be? I don't know. No, I think that's about as far in as it goes. Whoa. Nope. Where'd it go?
What is taking you all so long?
Don't. Not again. There it is. Let's try again. I think it actually does sit up, raised up a little.
Who wants to explain what's going on?
Either that or I put it in the wrong way. Something so small. Focus! There we go. Get in there. Get in your hole. You know you want to. Yes. Yes. It went in its hole. Look at that. Holy free colors. Okay, now that goes onto here. Onto here.
Weekdays at 3:25 or anytime on the ABC Me app.
There we go. Zoom, zoom. TV guide.
What do you call a playground when you meet up with your boyfriend or girlfriend? What? A playground.
Radio. Getting now for H. Where's H? C, D, B. Don't knock that over. E. It's A. M. I. H. There's two H's.
Blossom, covering Tracy Chapman's
Okay.
last card. It was last week's Like a Virgin.
H9. Is it a 9 or a 6? I think that's a 9. Be good if you had a slash, like above and below. Though I'm assuming that's a 9. Because it looks about the right shape. That bit. That bit.
Yes, but in between now and then it is hack time. Dave Marchese is going to be looking after you.
Yeah, that snapped off pretty cleanly. Didn't need to clean that one up.
Course costs that are changing.
And this needs to go up and under here.
Also, we're going to be talking about koalas and deforestation. Koalas, what do you think? Do you like them? Do you love them? Those are two options, because if you hate them...
Here's the upper fuselage.
You absolutely you. This right now is Buddy. Black 2, hack up next.
I'm getting there. Thanks for asking. Life is life. I'm trying to just keep my mind occupied, and yeah, this sort of helps. It's a distraction at least. Okay. A10. I guess that's A10. Damn, that really don't want to happen. So, these are the smaller scissors I've got. No. I need to get smaller scissors.
Black 2 on Triple J, Cover and Hing joining you, but only for a few moments longer because it is time to hand over to the Prince, Dave Marchese, for Hack. How you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Good, because one of my buttons stopped working.
Hey, how does budget cuts look at you?
it's an interesting time. We've got so much coming up on Hack. We're talking koala habitats, we're talking uni changes, so much is going on. We should just get into it. Treat yourself.
Let's clean this up a bit.
Are you concerned, not alarmed?
Chuck a headband on, get in there and have a crack.
That's ridiculous to me.
Start talking about it.
Ew, that's gross.
On this existential level.
Well, it's pretty much a done deal. Those controversial uni changes that will double the cost of some degrees have passed the Senate. G'day, Dave Marchese with you for Hack today, and I want to know if you're affected by this. Is this going to change what you study, or even if you go to uni at all? Let me know, 0439 757 555. Soon we're going to be talking to independent Senator
pretty messed up.
Lambie. She was dead against these changes.
Just made it so, yeah, cost of education basically just doubled for so many people.
Threatened by a controversial development in New South Wales.
I refuse to be the vote that tells poor kids out there, no matter how gifted, no matter how determined you are, dream a little cheaper, because you're never going to make it, because you can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. Fuck the
uni's
government.
about to get a lot more expensive for some students who'll be paying 113% more for their degrees. The Senate has passed those
More than
controversial
double.
changes, or explains how the bill passed in the first place.
You're listening to the final vote in the Senate for the government's Jobs Ready Graduates Bill.
The results of the division is ayes 28, noes 26. The matter is resolved in the affirmative.
If you don't speak Parliament, what this means is that this bill scraped through by the skin of its teeth.
These funding changes will encourage students to pick the areas of study at university that are most likely to help them secure a job.
Trade Minister Simon Birmingham says the idea is that the cost of courses should reflect what the jobs market is doing. So if you take on a degree in teaching or maths or agriculture, you'll pay less than $4 grand a year.
Importantly, this bill will reduce student contribution amounts for more than half of all commencing students.
In other words, you only get to study what they want you to study. If you want to study what you want to study, then you're going to have to pay more than fucking double.
IB courses included psychology and social work, but the government's back down on that now.
In response to feedback from the higher education sector, the bill will create the new disciplines of professional pathway social work and professional pathway psychology in Commonwealth Grant Scheme funding.
The bill would also see students who fail more than half their subjects lose government support. The government doesn't have the numbers in the Senate, so if Labor doesn't support a bill, and it didn't support this one, then the government needs the smaller parties and independents. One Nation was on board from the start. The Greens were dead against it, and so was Jackie Lambie and a dude called Rex Patrick. So the fate of the bill lie with Centre Alliance.
I think that we need to be mindful around the barriers that can be created with respect to fees.
Hack spoke to Rebecca Sharkey from Centre Alliance back in June when the details of this bill first came out. As you can hear, she didn't sound too keen on it.
And I don't want us to go back to the days where university was an area just for the rich kids to study.
Centre Alliance did support it though, and they got it over the line. Why? Well, we would have actually loved to have asked them that, but Ms. Sharkey was too busy to come on the show. She did talk to our friends over at RN Drive though.
So why didn't you stand firm and say no?
Because if we said no, we would have job losses, we would have no new places for next year, and we already know that there's an uptake of demand.
So what do young people think of this? Nathan from Melbourne
It's
is
fucked
a
up.
and hoping to study business.
Okay, playing that. Is it you're telling me to cut those bits? Because it looks like it. telling me to slice that? Because it hasn't got it there. It's only got the one. And then there's the gap. So I'm assuming that's what that means. Yeah, cut away. Thought so.
Oh, isn't that just the dream collaboration that you wanted but never knew you needed? Langston there with Embrace featuring the vocals of Sydney pop artist Brewer on that one. Obsessed with that mellow cut from them. Hey, if you're just tuning in, Isabella Moore is here to hang out with you for the next little while as I get through the latest and greatest uploads to Triple J and Earth. And right now, I've got a song that I'm very excited
on
about.
here you telling me to cut?
It's the second taste of the brand new collaboration between
Cut
Sydney
what?
electronic
Where?
and pop icons
The front?
Nina Geraci and Coda Banks.
Hmm.
They released their debut single True North last month, but they're back with this brand new one that brings a whole lot of attitude and confidence. Get ready to add
No
this
idea
one
where
to all
that
your
bit
hip-hop
is.
playlist. It is called Opus.
Trying to work it out. No. I don't know. I'll work it out soon enough anyway. What are you showing me to cut? Huh? I don't know. It doesn't look like I need to actually slice into it, so I think that was just telling me to cut it off the base plate. So that's all good. This bit goes on here. Eaten. Yeah, I haven't eaten anything. Thank you for reminding me, pieces of plastic. It's H. There's an E. So it's 10.
Yeah.
Triple J?
Earth? Yeah.
Now you go. Ah, I needed to put you in first, did I? Okay. Shit. Hopefully it doesn't break any little bits. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. There we go. Where'd that other bit go? There it is. White on white. Yeah, that was smart. Place it down on some white. Okay. No idea which side this is supposed to go, though. Let's try that way. That made it so you can see this little bit under here that like blocked off that little hole there. Sit down flush in there. Now that goes on there. Okay. I need to find E17. E17. There you are. Yeah, I don't need to clean you up. Cool. And you sit down on there like that, Dezio. Okay. Like that. There we go. Not sure. That's it for now because my back's hurting really bad.